If you're a dance or fitness instructor who wants to grow your classes, boost income, and turn your passion into a real business, you're in the right place. Each week, I'll share the exact strategies, lessons, and truth smacks from building a thriving belly dance fitness brand. We'll dive into what actually fills classes and keeps students coming back so that you can build a profitable instructor career. So, lace up those sneakers and pull on those dance shoes. It's time to build the business you deserve. I'm Orit, and welcome to Dance Fit Biz Builders. Hello, and welcome to Dance Fit Biz Builders. I'm Orit, your host, and like I say all the time, I'm super excited about my next guest. Her name is Nanani, and she was suggested by my master instructor, Jill Collins, and she said, Orit, you need to bring Nanani on your show because one, she's a plethora of knowledge. Two, the girl knows how to reinvent herself, and she has been in the business for so long. And we're going to talk all about that. So if you feel like, how can I grow? What's next for me? This girl is for you. Hey, Nanani, welcome to the show.
Aloha. Thank you so much. I'm super excited already.
I love that. Aloha. Oh, okay. Well, first of all, what is your background?
Let's see. First, I'm an island girl. I'm a born and bred Army brat, so I've traveled the world. I've danced since the age of 2. I've been in the fitness industry for over 28 years. It's easier to tell you what I'm not certified in, and I do not have a certification in aqua aerobics. Not yet. So I'm a certified personal trainer, did the whole group fitness. I've been a part of Zumba, work dance fitness as well, a plethora of other dance formats. Let's see, formats as far as like dance forms I've danced, genres I've danced in. Polynesian was initially my first. You can probably tell, and Nanani just some kind of gives it away. Sure. There's a Polynesian background back there. Ballet, modern, hip hop, ballroom, and currently I dance as a fusion world art dancer.
And what has been your favorite dance?
Oh, I always tell people whichever I'm dancing right now.
Okay.
No, I think if I say there's one form that I always come back to, I think it's hula. That was my very first dance form ever taught to me. It was taught to me initially like on rainy days by my mother. My family is very much entrenched in our Polynesian cultural arts. And so I was an energetic 2-year-old and she needed something to do with me. And music and dance just was it. So I can remember learning hula initially, and I feel like that's what I come back to so much. If it's going to be my own private time of practice, it's usually island music on, and I'm down in my, bent knee position, and there is a hula or a kolo going on, or an ami happening in my hips.
Yeah, amis. Yeah, we have that in belly dance, as you know. And so you've been dancing and you've taught as well. What do you get the most satisfaction from, dancing or teaching?
I think it's pretty even. There's something about performing as a performer, as I'm sure you're aware of. There's something about that connection with a crowd when you're introducing something to a crowd for the first time, or being an ambassador of your culture to an audience that normally doesn't get a chance to be exposed to that. But there's also something just as rewarding, maybe even slightly more, when you're a part of someone's process. When you're a part of seeing individuals move past, walls that they thought were there, or boundaries or obstacles, when you see them work through and dig deep, when you're a part of a process of bringing them into the fullness of what their potential is, as most instructors see potential, I feel, in like everybody or students, when you see them grow into that potential perhaps that they didn't even see, there's something about that process, being a part of that.
Yeah.
And letting someone move up and beyond where they ever even thought possible they could go.
I agree with you 100% on that. Yeah. But for me, I think for me personally, later in life, I really enjoyed the teaching. Yeah. I had to mature just for me personally.
Yes. I can understand that. I definitely can. I think we go through ebb and flow.
Yeah.
I'm currently still at that stage. Well, I think I've come back to that stage of enjoying performing again, as far as fulfillment in it. Yeah, I guess we'll go with it. It's kind of like ocean waves, right? It ebbs and flows with the tides, rolls in, it rolls out. There's this constant movement in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now, currently at this stage, I think it's pretty even again. It's back to performing and teaching both.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. It keeps it interesting, the fact that it ebbs and flows. That's wonderful. That's cool. Now that I think of it, I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah.
just like the tide. Tide rolls in high, it goes into low tide.
Which brings me to my next question. This is a great segue, just because you've done so many different things. I know a lot of dancers, instructors, sometimes they feel like, oh gosh, I feel like a failure because I have to leave that part and now do this or change it to this. How did you feel when you sort of like morphed your career or changed? What kept you stable?
I'd like to say that every time there was a transition and an ebbing of something, I'd like to say that you flow with it. But I would be lying if I said every single time a transition happened that it was easy. But then you realize life is a series of phases of places of where you're at. It's a journey, is something that I've always told many of my students, and I've been told myself over and over again that life is a journey. Your career is a journey. There are things that will always be there, and there are things that can only happen right now. And so, if you're going to jump on the things that only happen right now, then it's only for now and it's only for a period of time. And I think when you know that, then it makes it a little easier.
Can you help our listeners? Because since you've transitioned so many times and go back and maybe even fuse all your loves together, can you help our listeners by explaining what does that moment feel like when you feel like, oh, I need to transition?
For me, I like to call it a teething period. Everyone, I think, can relate to when babies teeth for the first time. And it's different. Some babies, there's drooling and there's tenderness and there's crankiness and whatnot. And for other babies, it's a little more dramatic, or maybe it's more intense. But I feel like those transitions are like teething periods. You know when a change needs to be made, you start to make the change, and there's just going to be a short period of time where it's uncomfortable. And you get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I know that sounds very cliche, but it really is true. You get comfortable with being uncomfortable, knowing that a transition is happening so that other things can come, other doors can open, new rooms can be stepped into. And so, yes, I call it a teething period. There's going to be a teething period.
For me, I feel like I'm welcoming change. It feels natural to me.
Mhm.
And although, like, you've got, like you said, you have to be comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. Dude, I'm uncomfortable every day, but I wake up excited to be uncomfortable. You know why? Because I had to flip the script. I'm excited to learn.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. I think there definitely has to be an excitement there. And it doesn't mean that teething is like you said, it's uncomfortable, but also too, that pretty soon, that means you're going to be opening up a whole new phase, a whole new thing. And that transition time is worth it. It's worth being uncomfortable for a moment so you can start moving on or moving or growing, if you will.
Love that, Nanani. So, listeners, listen to what she's saying. I know a lot of you fear change. It's not starting over, right? It's just reinventing yourself. It's a growth. It's not loss at all. Yeah.
No, not at all. It's what teachers always tell you about knowledge, right? Knowledge gained is never lost.
Yeah.
It You're just moving on to more things to learn about yourself, about what else is out there for you. Where else can this go?
So, you seem to be very natural at it. You don't seem to worry as much, maybe, as other people who are kind of new at this. But was there a point where you were in the messy and you really felt anxious?
Yes, for sure. Especially initially when moving into business, when deciding to step out into business for myself for the first time. That brought a lot of anxiousness. It's a big transition when you move from being a part of a company or being a student and you become a teacher. There's just there's a plethora of things that you have to be aware of and think of, and you have to balance that you weren't aware of before. one of the things that is on my resume is master trainer for Yoga Fit. So I train instructors how to teach. And something we always tell individuals that are transitioning from being a student to being a teacher is now it's a different mindset you have to take on. So yes, whenever that step going for the first time into business for myself, I feel like I dreamt work for weeks. As far as you're trying to work things out even while you're sleeping, I literally dreamt about work in my sleep. I don't think I really ever slept during that time. I think even in my dreams, I was still ironing out problems, looking at potential obstacles, thinking about things on how they could be handled, constant list running as far as things that need to be done. Yeah, it's quite interesting. That was probably the most stressful transition was that first jump.
And it's scary going into the business side of things. Like for some instructors and some dancers, they're like, okay, I have to be a business. What's my first step? Do I get an accountant? Do I create a business checking account? Do I go ask someone? Do I Google? What was your process?
I have been so blessed with individuals that I have met that have come across my path. I'm a firm believer that as you need things, they show up. Right? They seem to find you, or you attract them, or things are provided. I'm so thankful for the individuals that have been around me and that I've known and I've met. I'm definitely an extrovert. I am someone that will seek people out and want to be around people. And because of individuals that I had around me and in conversations and talking, I was so blessed with the people who are basically unofficially like mentors and coaches and guides. Did I also seek out individuals to go ahead and coach me on things that I felt I needed? Yes, I did. But I really went ahead and leaned into the tribe and the village and the people that were around me. I think that was a big part of it.
That's great. And I know we are also somewhat of the same age. I'm a little older than you, but back in the day, starting a business is not like how it is now.
Remember the For Dummies series of books?
Yeah.
I have a few of those, even for like was it Business Plan Writing for Dummies? I bought that book and worked through it. Yes, resources. So I was on the resources.
Now it's like everywhere. Just go online and they'll just give you an outline. Here's the blueprint. Do this, do this, do this.
Chat GPTV, if you prompt it well enough, will write out a business plan for you.
Right? So now's the best time to start a business.
Yes, it's so easy to find all the resources. You no longer have to do all the running around, go to the library, look through the whole like index card thing, or asking someone, buy the books.
So, as a professional personally who is a dancer and then has ventured into fitness and combines both, right? How has your cultural dance affected how you approach your fitness, wellness, and when you teach other people?
Oh goodness, that's a big question because I feel like you really can't separate from that. How I approach things. I come from a mixed culture. My parents were from two different cultures, similar in a lot of aspects, but still come with their wealth of things. I had grandparents who were very holistic in their mindset. One side more in performing arts, other sides, where they instill that work ethic and that drive and that foundation of always being reminded of who you are, where you come from. I tell people nowadays too, whenever I need to be reminded of who I am, I call my dad because he will remind me exactly who I am. He reminds me of who I am, that I'm loved, where I came from, and provides that encouragement. And so, when you come from that kind of background, it's interesting because from an island perspective, where everybody is important, no one is independent. You're intradependent, which means we need all of us in order to survive, right? So I have lots of aunties and uncles and an extended family. We used to laugh about visiting our Hawaiian family that you get in trouble by one person, but you're going to get in trouble 5 times before you finally reach your parents, right? Because not only is that auntie that saw you do something wrong going to get on to you, but then everybody else is going to find out and you get in trouble before your parents find out, and you get in trouble by your parents too. So it's very a holistic approach to things. I've always felt too that it influenced how I looked at movement in bodies, and even down to the body types that I looked at. Being that I grew up around the world, you see what different cultures view as beautiful and in their dance forms, what is pulled from that. And then, of course, it goes back to when you're reminded of your own. For instance, if we want to talk genres, ballet has traditionally had a specific body type and what it looks like. And we just know, oh, that's ballet, right? Or that body type is ballet. I'm sure right now you already have a picture of, a willowy, long lines, beautiful, long, straight lines, and so forth. In in a hula, which is our Hawaiian dance, in hula, it's not really a specific body type. There's all body types. What is looked at is, placement of arms, movements of hips, fluidity of movement, continual movement happening. If you looked in ballroom, there's, another type of body type there where it's a bit stronger and rhythmic and they look almost curvy in a way, but also still just constant flow depending on movement type. So I think that really comes to it. I come from a very holistic approach. I've always told individuals, if you can count to 8 and move at the same time, I can teach you to dance.
I love that. If you can count and move at the same time, I can teach you how to dance.
Right.
My thing is, I tell people, hey, if you can march in place, I can teach you how to belly dance.
Right.
Very cool.
That's good.
By the way, how many years have you been doing this, fitness and dance?
I got started in my fitness career in 1996. So 29 years, almost 30 now.
How did you manage to stay in it and working in it and it be your livelihood for so long?
So I married into the military. I'm a born and bred Army brat. I needed a career that could be, or something to do that was flexible. So I was blessed with a partner that said, find what you love to do, so then you never have to work a day in your life. And when he met me, I was a dancer already. So he already knew that wasn't going anywhere. I always tell people I go with the yeses. Uh, he and I were working out at a gym as like something for us to do after our first child was born. And music in the gym is what drove my attention. Like, there was some phenomenal music happening. And I was like, where is this coming from? And jumped into it. And I always tell individuals, I just keep going with the yeses. I jumped into a step aerobics class. And to me, it was just like being back in a dance class, but with a step involved and someone else telling me what to do in the moment, which was no big, nothing abnormal for anyone who's ever been in a dance class, a choreography class. They're calling out choreography all the time to you while you're doing it and performing it. And that's exactly what was happening in this class. And I loved it, loved the whole group. There's this humongous group in there. And then, as oftentimes as anyone else who's ever been in the fitness industry can probably tell you, more likely someone probably says, like they did to me, hey, have you ever thought about getting certified? That's just how it got started. And it just kind of kept growing from there. I'll tell you, I love the human body. The human body enthralls me. I love to sit and watch people move. And so that kind of just started this snowball. It started with a group fitness certification. It started with a step aerobics class. It later moved on to, a background in kinesiology, personal training certifications. I'm also a licensed massage therapist. The dancing and the continual movement. I'm currently finishing my studies in naturopathic, medicine. So it just continues to grow and move, and synergistically kind of all come together.
Amazing. Congratulations to you. Now, I just want to ask you this. It might be kind of an uncomfortable question. I don't know, maybe not. But with all this, appropriation talk happening in the industries, more in the dance, of course. How do you manage, if it's an issue at all, staying true to your roots while
Mhm.
teaching others who don't necessarily want to become a professional dancer, but just want to maybe do what you do just for movement's sake?
I think it's important to sprinkle in the history. I find that while moving, if you educate individuals while they're in the midst of moving, while they're performing a movement, now depending on the level of person, how there are, you have your hobbyists, your enthusiasts, and your pros, right? Someone who's coming in just to dance and just to move and to move their bodies, they're going to be in a different headspace than someone who is moving a little deeper. And if someone's moving a little deeper, then you can sprinkle in a little bit more. So initially, it's teaching the basics and it's teaching a little bit of where this came from, whether it be like how this movement started, why this particular genre of dance came about, or even as simple as learning like initially this was danced just by men, it's danced just by men initially. Uh, then they've learned a little piece of the history. You learn the basic movements of and where the movements come from and how they move in your body and where that movement's supposed to come from, the muscularity of it. And so then that they take that with them. If it's a student that's moving deeper, then okay, let's start moving into the history of this song. Why was this particular song written? What was the era of the time? What was going on? Why this kind of homage being paid to, whatever we might be talking about, whether it be a landscape thing like mountains and the ocean and what this person's seeing, but think about what was going on at the time, and that's the story that you're portraying in this dance. If it's a pro, then I think it's important that you understand a little bit of the history of the dance and movement that you're coming into, that you give the respect needed to really learn the movement as far as the movement quality. Even if it's just something that you're going to learn for a specific reason and then move on, really learn the movement quality and the movement history and method and technique, and then fuse it into whatever you like and take it with you. I think that's how it comes to a student. As also, too, where you come from and what you give. You can only give what someone's open to. So you meet them at where they're at.
Do you currently fuse your cultural dance with fitness?
Yes, I do.
And how do you do it? How do you do it?
It's interesting. I just recently, probably a few months ago, I was part of a dance party at a gym. And I actually came in and did a Polynesian dance fitness segment. So modern music, basic movements, Polynesian dancing, interpreted very much like you would with other dance aspects. It's something simple. What can someone learn very quickly? I love to look at movements that happen in lots of different cultural movements and how it's the same movement. It's just usually there's a slight difference, whether it be a timing, the type of music you're dancing to, the speed of it, or so forth, and then bring it back into keeping it simple, so you get someone feeling like they're dancing right away. So yes, there was just recently I just did a Polynesian dance fitness segment.
Love it. I'm just so curious because I put fitness into belly dance, but like, is there like what makes it fitness when you teach?
I think something that is easy for all fitness levels, something that gets individuals engaged and connected to the movement quickly. They have to be able to do it quickly. Being able to make sure that it's fun and energetic, it's simple and it's repetitive, and there can be continual movement so that they gain that fitness benefit of it, but they also feel like they're dancing already. No time to really, in a fitness aspect too, it's not really so much about technique except for safety, where safety is concerned. I'm not really worried about technique. I'm just wanting you to find your dancer. Where is your dancer in this moment? Let's just connect to it now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Sometimes as like professional dancers, sometimes people have to dance, sorry, instructors have to let that go a little bit.
Yes,
Yeah. Make sure they're getting it good enough so they're not hurting themselves, but you want them to come back too. So,
exactly.
yeah.
Especially in the fitness industry.
Yeah, of course, of course. Lovely. So tell me, What are you doing now? What does your business look like now?
Oh, business right now. That's interesting. So it's a mosaic, is what I tell individuals. I currently work in several Pilates studios in the area. So I teach Pilates reformer classes now. So I'm a certified Pilates instructor. I teach group reformer classes through several studios in the area. I also still teach uh, private training clients as well for everything from weight loss to preparing for different events like bodybuilding, mud runs, obstacle course runs, so forth. And then I still choreograph for weddings and groups and dancers. I perform. I just recently, I was just laughing with a friend of mine because she and I both were recently back in the gig life. So I dance gigs as well. It's not unusual for me to have a bin in my car with dance costumes, makeup, and so forth in there. Also, different types of shoes because every hour seems to be different. I have a handful of clients that I still work with for massage therapy. I have a massage therapy business as well. I still have my hands in it, literally. I still work on clients in person for a massage, although that is moved into more Thai massage than table massage recently. So that's kind of fun. So they move, I move with them. Yeah, it's almost like every hour is different. I'm never bored. And now recently as an empty nester, I have time open and I'm currently in school. There is a plan for a wellness center in the very near future. So that's also in the works and coming and developing. Yes, and I have grandchildren. So I'm living my nanny life is what it's called. They call me nanny. So I have a nanny life happening that is magical and fulfilling. And that just seems to spark that creative side of me again as well. So there's another generation to pour into of 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 heritage, of history, of culture, and that's adding another spark in kind of like shiny diamond in things right now.
Wait, you're a grandma already?
Yes. I am a nanny, is what they call me, and four times over. We just added our youngest one. He's nearly, in fact, he'll be 11 months on the 16th. And it's another grand man. I'm a nanny of grand men.
Wow. Oh
Yeah.
my God. God bless you that you're able to see your kids' kids.
No, I know. So many prayers answered, things coming into fruition. It is amazing. I once heard someone say that grandchildren are your reward for not killing your own children. Not that I ever worried about killing my children. It was more about them not killing themselves. It's just we need them to survive out of this this age. Um, but yes, it's interesting. You know, I'm sure as any mother can say is that you or anyone who's ever loved a child, your heart is so full and you don't know if it can grow any bigger, and it just seems to do it. And with our grandmen, my heart just keeps growing bigger and bigger. I just can't
Wow.
believe it.
And you're a hottie grandma.
That's what my sons say.
I want you to talk to our listeners about this really cool concept you were talking to me about before. And listeners, listen carefully because this is another way to diversify. All right, go ahead, Nanani.
So diversifying your income as far as collaborating with individuals, being willing to refer people, but establishing kind of like a monetary um, reward back, if you would. So, what other industries might call like a consultation fee or a referral fee is what you come to. So, um, for instance, if I book a massage therapist for an event, say I go to an event that says, hey, we need four therapists there. And I say, okay, I negotiate a fee for that time for the company, for my corporation, and the massage therapists that are coming in will be paid from that fee. Then, while they're there at that event, they are welcome to market themselves. that could lead to potential clients, but they're also being paid for their time. So they're not necessarily, and they probably have their own independent massage therapy businesses, but they're being paid for their time while they're there. They also have an opportunity to market themselves to individuals that aren't going to necessarily infringe on my clientele since they're coming to an event that we're being pulled into. Also, dancers that come and we do an event together, they'll be paid as well. If they go on to say I'm being approached by a person for a gig and I can't, I have dancers that can go ahead and contact and say, hey, there's this gig, and they go ahead and get paid for the event. But there's also a fee that comes to me as kind of like the booking fee, if you would. Mm-hmm. That comes. Same with trainers as well. Trainers that work with me, they have a fee that's paid to them. Though clients may pay our company directly, then trainers get paid from it. But if they were to negotiate something beyond that, then that's all theirs. So it's fair. It keeps everybody working. Also, there's a plethora of niches and expertise to refer out to. I always say to individuals when it comes to fitness, there's so many different types of ways of doing something, and it's because everyone has an opportunity to find what works for them. With fitness particularly, you need to find what's fun, what's a great fit. And as an instructor and as a trainer, I may not be the best fit for you, but I can refer you to someone who could be. And that's a really mature place to be at. It's a professional place to be at. I feel it offers more value to someone in someone's eyes when you can do that and they appreciate that. Then they remember you too for later and refer people back. So yes, it's a little way to make things continue to happen, but it keeps it. I feel like a fee sometimes adds value to what you do. So it's not just, oh, I'm telling someone, referring someone, and then nothing from that. But it's like, hey, it's just a little bit of a reward, pat on my back, a pat on your back, and it makes someone more willing to want to work with you again later as well. The wellness center I envision is somewhere that would offer movement classes. So instructors are there. You could also come for whether it be life coaching in healthy habits. There'll be coaches available. There's massage therapists as well for wellness and overall health. There would be also naturopathic holistic practitioners that could be there in order to help guide and create programs or offer suggestions to how can you best support your body? Because that's what it's about. One of my life mantras is that a body moving well is a beautiful body. And so how do you keep moving? Our bodies were designed to move, and we need to move. So moving them well, keeping them moving well, offering things that help support your body. I talk to people, individuals, and they're often surprised to go ahead and find out I have a autoimmune disease, which seems to be, I'm hearing more and more often about individuals being diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. I am currently an individual that I will be on medication for the rest of my life. It's already been proven and shown that my body for now just does not seem to be able to live without it. Well, like my doctors say, you're one of the healthiest, really sick people we know. And I think that's because there's the lifestyle aspect that's been added because of the background I have in Ayurvedic medicine, in Ayurvedic training, as now into naturopathic modalities and training and practicing. There's that lifestyle aspect of, yes, how can we support my body? How can we support my system so that I can continue to live the kind of life I want to live? I want to be able to move. I want to be able to run still. I want to be able to be engaged. I want to be able to go to events. I want to do all these things. Okay, so what do I need to do to support my body? I think there's something very empowering when someone learns about how can I best support my body and can begin to learn to trust their body or trust their inclinations or their feelings or their intuition. So many times I've heard people say something just feels off. And I've said it myself, something feels off, something's off. And I think that when you can learn and you're empowered with that kind of information to understand, okay, what exactly am I feeling? Where am I feeling? What am I feeling? How am I feeling? Then you become a better pilot overall. Even when it comes to career choices, how do I truly feel about this?
Well, isn't it amazing that you found out you had an autoimmune disease? You went to learn more about it, right? In all these ways, right? And you're able to use it in your work and you're able to become a better coach for your clients because of it.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. And I think that is where it comes down to that, even when it comes to like our dancing, right? How many times were we told when we were younger, you really can't dance love until you felt it or lived it, right? You can't emote an emotion by someone telling you what it feels like. You've got to feel it. You have to have gone through it. I can remember I had a dance instructor one time that told me a dancer doesn't really begin dancing until their 30s, because by then you've had some life and you've had a chance to feel things and live things, and now you know what that emotion feels like, and where now you can dig and pull from it. So yes, I think it's very similar.
Yeah, that's very true. Just a little side note. Pina Bausch was a contemporary choreographer from Belgium, and she only hired dancers over the age of 35 for that reason, because
Yeah.
they lived life and it would come out in their dancing. Thank fucking God, because we need more
Right.
Pina Bausch's.
Exactly. And that's one of the things I love about the dance industry nowadays, is that you're seeing dancers that are having careers into their 40s and beyond, and they're still on stage performing in their 30s and so forth. It's so true.
So, Nanani, this has been great. This has been great. I want to ask you, when you look back at your journey, what
Mhm.
was the biggest lesson you've learned about staying true to yourself, but still while continuing to evolve as a teacher, a performer, a businesswoman?
I would say go with the yeses,
Okay.
especially when it comes to something that you feel has been placed on your heart, on your mind, in your creative spark. Go with the yeses.
Yeah, I love that. And that you can say no to things.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I it's oftentimes I have a great friend and mentor who once brought a thing to me. She's like, you know, how many roles, what do you want to be extraordinary at? And she says, we as human beings can maybe be extraordinary at maybe 5 roles, 7 roles tops. And the rest we can only be good at. And she's like, and it's okay to every year or every couple of years take a reassessment of what do you want to be extraordinary at? And then that's what you focus on. And that kind of helps you say yes to things and no to things in order to set boundaries that you need to set. But it's all about what do you want to be extraordinary at first.
That. Nanani, where can people find you, where you teach, your company? Give us all the details.
Okay, they are welcome to find me on social media. Aloha Nanani is my kind of like screen name, or on Instagram. They can also find me on Facebook as well. There is Aloha Vita or Aloha Vita Incorporated, where they can find me. Aloha Vita Inc. is also on Instagram. They can message me there. Uh, those are the two best ways and fastest ways to go ahead and find me. Aloha Vita is also on TikTok. We are on LinkedIn, and Aloha Vita is also on, used to be Twitter, is now X.
Awesome. And we'll put all those details in the show notes. All right, Nanani, it was such a pleasure. And I would love for you to take us out with our signature outro.
All right, folks, until our next episode, go and kick ass.
Yes! I love it. Thank you, Nanani.
Thank you. So much fun.